Captain Sunny Waffles. We are A-logging the nerdy Brit responding to the Mr. Tardis thumbnail situation. Okay, we have some British Doctor Who drama. Delicious. Mr. Tardis is like a normie Doctor Who YouTuber. He's been around forever. And this guy I just figured out about. He actually he says he's kind of normie too. He's very normie actually. He says a bunch of waffling stuff at the beginning. And it's not even
okay, I'm going to pre-warn you now. This video is going to be a bit different. You know, it's not going to have my usual sporadic, hopefully, comedic.
Unfortunately, there's no his usual sporadic nonsense or whatever he was about to say. But it takes him a while to spit out what he's trying to say.
Energy, you know.
Yeah.
2 times. If you... I don't mind. I get it. So, I will stop waffling, but there will be waffle. I apologise. I've got to address everything just in case certain people watch this video, because the last thing I want is for me to make this entire video and then certain points are made, one of which being, oh, this is a situation that happened, you know, 3 or 4 days ago. Like, why are you dragging this back up now? Like, I'm sorry. I haven't got around to it yet, but this is my opportunity to...
What's the situation, buddy? You would hope he would tell me the situation in this video, right?
Doctor Who Space put out as one of their 3 thumbnails, because if you don't know, YouTube allow you to do multiple thumbnails. So as one of their 3 thumbnails, they put out a thumbnail that, and we'll get into why I personally think it's a pretty not good thumbnail.
Okay, we're gonna get into why it's a bad thumbnail. That's all I want to know. What can be so bad, so wrong, to that you need to call someone out, to like publicly pressure them to put down to take down their thumbnail. Which isn't even what happened, by the way.
To have out there, but yeah, they put that out as one of their 3 thumbnails, and it created an entire thumbnail, a controversy of noise.
Oh, and there was the first dislike. He said it was a cacophony of noise. What? Who do I know who described criticism as a cacophony of noise? Students, anyone in the class? Do we remember an episode of a middling / failing television program who called the criticism a cacophony of noise? Criticism from a podcaster? Something a podcaster does, a cacophony of noise? He is full on lucky daying me right now, and he's taking all the wrong lessons from it.
Is that the right word? Probably. From a lot of people. And I'm going to say now that YouTuber is Mr. Tardis.
Oh, look how scared he was. Look at him. Look how scared he was to even say his name. Oh, Mr. Tardis. I'm calling out Mr. Tardis. Oh. This guy, man. This is something else, isn't it? RTD, yes. He sounds exactly like RTD.
There was not only him confronting a lot of other people, but there was a big confrontation with me and him, and there was a lot of other drama about it. You can follow me and...
Yeah.
Brought this conversation up, but this has happened with other people. This is...
What about this situation, my guy?
Anyone to get any hate over little bits or, you know, cause any more arguments. I just think it's important to be honest and authentic, because there's a lot of politics going on about this, and some politics that's a bit nefarious, and some politics where people are having genuinely interesting debates, but those debates got lost in slanging matches. And that's...
I might have to go back. Neil gets out. I don't think he's scared. I think his balls went up. Uh-oh. You might be right. Look at him. Oh my gosh. Just look at him. Dude, it's not good. I don't know. You're usually on the wrong side of the debate when you're talking about it, and every time you pause, you look like felt it. You look like this, bro.
Unauthentic, because there's a lot of politics going on about this, and some politics that's a bit nefarious, and some politics where people are having genuinely interesting debate.
So he's claiming the thumbnail, because this is the thumbnail situation. He's claiming the thumbnail is political, okay?
But those debates got lost in slanging that.
And then he gets caught up in the what's it called? The propaganda. Well, some of the conversation is just noise, and the other conversation is legit, and I get to pick and choose because I'm the nerdy Brit.
And that's why I want to say, you know, we're going to try and keep this as nice and respectful as possible, whilst being
get on with it.
And others. But I will say me, and the reason why I've set this up to try and, you know, be a bit politer about the situation is because on Twitter, in the debate, there are points where I was probably guilty of not taking, you know, trying to be argumentative rather than informative. Because I still agree with a lot of the points that I am making, but it can be argued on both sides of this and other debates as part of this, is that there was emotional arguments being...
Oh, no, man. First off, the way he's fumbling through his words just let me know he doesn't know what he's talking about. And then he's admitting that while they were arguing on Twitter, they got emotional. He got emotional with Mr. Tardis. Oh, God. Disgusting. He's a woman. He's cucked. He's a female.
being put forward that we you know, actively, you know, trying to, like, slur the other person in you know, things weren't being kept polite. So, and I admit I am guilty of that.
He's waffling.
Just to add context, this was the
context cope, bro. That was another reason I had to give him a dislike on the video. There's so many times he's like, I gotta add context. There's so much context to this thumbnail.
One of 3 of the thumbnails you use, because YouTube, you can like try like 3 thumbnails and, like, you know, see which ones do better.
And this context actually destroys his entire argument about it being like political or dangerous or intentional or malicious, because he's saying, okay, because this is true. In YouTube, you can upload multiple thumbnails and then they'll try them out for you, like for different people. They recommend different thumbnails, like they show them different thumbnails on the same video, right? And so it's like, so Mr. Tardis had a bunch of other thumbnails to use, and he was just, which one gets the most attention to get his points across, right? Which is like playing the game, I guess, in YouTube. I'm sorry, I think I'm blowing out my mic on accident. But it's playing the game on YouTube, which is what you have to do if you want attention, if you want views. You make a thumbnail and it needs to catch people's eyes. Why is this thumbnail a situation? Why is it bad?
Worse than YouTube algorithm. And it is also important for those that don't know that I say this, that this thumbnail isn't the current thumbnail and it got deleted within a few hours.
Felt it.
Important for you guys to know the obvious reasons behind the thumbnail and where I stand on the thumbnail, because obviously the thumbnail as a blanket thing I pretty wholeheartedly disagree with.
Okay, the thumbnail he's not using as a blanket thing, he just disagree with. That's what he said, right? Did I miss it? He just disagrees with the whole thumbnail, right? The thumbnail must be something crazy. We're 6 minutes in. He hasn't showed us the thumbnail yet. The thumbnail must be something crazy, right? It must be something illegal. It must be something offensive. Like, he's hoping something, right?
Not only is it done in quite a The best way I can describe it is a null zone style thumbnail. Null zone being, you know, one of like the more noisy voices of the anti-woke brigade.
Whoa, buddy. So he's saying this thumbnail is in a style to appeal to the anti-woke brigade, right? A crowd of the Doctor Who audience that he does not agree with, that RTD doesn't agree with, right? The side that criticizes the audience, okay? And by the way, this is also a side that Mr. Tardis disagrees with. Like, Mr. Tardis is a wokey. He likes everything Doctor Who does too. So, okay. Look it up, Dee. It's a cool term. Felted is a poker term. Where I don't know. To me, it's a brilliant word that I learned about because it's like it captures that emotion, because you got feelings in there. Felt. It captures the feelings. It captures the sadness. and poker, you know, I think you're felted when like you lose on the hand or whatever. So that's why it's a beautiful term. I also stole it from the Kino Casino. I'm a fan of the casino. I'm a high roller, some might say. Anti-woke brigade. This dude needs to pick a side. I'm saying, bro. You see what I'm saying?
But obviously, the thumbnail itself, and people can argue their ways round it and going, this wasn't the intention, this or that. As you can see,
I'm weak. He said, and people can make logic and argue. People can use logic and arguments. But, you know, who can dismiss
from the thumbnail,
those?
we've got, you know, the start of the Whoniverse in William Hartnell, and then you go to the end of the thumbnail and it's Shooty Gatwa, and the flag on that end is burning with the text reading, how to kill an icon. Which, obviously, I know that's not Mr. Tardis. Mr. Tardis doesn't believe that a Black Doctor and the BBC and Doctor Who currently being woke has killed Doctor Who. I know.
I don't even think that's what the thumbnail said, but that's what he saw. You know what I'm saying? He saw the flag burning on the other side, and like I hate that he mentions it, but he got to the flag burning on a Black Doctor. That's just the current Doctor. The current state of the show is burning, right? Bruh.
Is burning with the text reading, how to kill an icon. Which, obviously...
And I don't know. He brought up the fact that he was Black. To me, that's just the current Doctor. You could have easily made the same thumbnail and made the same arguments under Jodie's era, but Mr. Tardis loves Chibnall. In the video I was watching by him today, he was talking about how he would do a bunch of ideas to save Doctor Who that he took from Chibnall's era. He was like, we'll go back to do Jodie stuff. So like, I don't know, at the same time you could put Jodie there and it would be the exact same arguments.
I know that's not Mr. Tardis. Mr. Tardis doesn't believe that a Black Doctor and the BBC and Doctor Who currently being woke has killed Doctor Who. I know he doesn't believe that, but that is what the thumbnail is implying.
Is that so? And that's what blew my mind about this whole thing. It made me have to fire up the recording, because it's like, okay, he doesn't believe that, but are you going to deny that there's not a giant section or a giant fan base who do believe that? Right? So wouldn't it be good to try to pull them in and signal them into your video and try to convince them of your arguments? And maybe convince them after the video, like, no, it's not dead. It's not, right? But he's like, no, only signal to your own audience. Don't signal to the outside audience. And he's not even using the thumbnail because apparently it wasn't working.
And this part is pretty undebatable. Mr. Tardis does know who he is targeting with those kinds of thumbnails.
Which is?
In one of the early tweet exchanges, I did say, let's be honest, you're clever enough to know who you're attracting with that thumbnail, to which he said, yes, I'm aware.
Yeah. Yeah. So neither of you two are dumb. Oh, okay. He's not dumb. You are.
Now, thing to say, but if you want the full context,
more context,
you have to jump around certain bits.
More
now,
context.
in all fairness to Mr. Tardis, he doesn't say this himself, but others have in defense of him, so it's worth addressing.
And now he's addressing strawmen.
People using the comment of YouTube is a game and all of this kind of stuff, and you know, you've got to do bits of clickbaiting and bits of this and bits of that.
So now I can't wait to hear him counteract everything I've been saying in this video, right? Like, well, you got to draw an audience. Wouldn't you want to communicate to the other side? Why? What's so wrong with playing the YouTube game? And it's not like he offended anybody. I don't know. Maybe he offended British people who's in denial about Doctor Who, but then he would be offending himself because Mr. Tardis is in denial about Doctor Who because he thinks it's all good. You know what I'm saying?
And that, in itself, I totally agree with. I have been very guilty of clickbait and this.
Oh, felt it. He agrees.
And that, those that I have since taken down with bad thumbnails and bad intentions for clickbait reasons.
And then he admitted to taking his own videos down. Whoa, he's a cuck. He's a loser. Now he's admitting to backpedaling on his own videos because he made interesting clickable thumbnails.
Obviously, the difference here is we are using a thumbnail that has racist connotations.
Whoa! Whoa! What is he talking about? Racist connotations? What is he talking about? This is beta. It is so beta. Racist connotations. He's the current Doctor.
Now, obviously, Mr. Tardis didn't use this defense himself, in which case I really think he would be down a bad argument and a bad rabbit hole, but that argument I'm just not going to take. The argument of, oh yeah, I'm using a thumbnail that I consider racist to play the YouTube game. No, I'm sorry.
Oh, I understand now, Neo Gear. I'm caught up. That's why. I just caught up. I was like, why is you calling each other racist in the comments of this video? And I was like, oh, he's calling the thumbnail racist. It's always come down to racism, doesn't it? Which is sad because it's just hate. And this guy is one of the more hateful people I'm sure you will ever meet, based off of the things he is saying right now.
If I'm honest, I don't think that's a debatable point. Clickbait.
Crazy. Then he says you can't debate it. You can't debate it because he used the word racism, which is why I hate the word and why it's a fake word and why it's an evil word, because they only use it to squash and eliminate debate. You know, if it was really racist, I promise you a white guy wouldn't be championing the argument. Okay.
It's YouTube. I get it. A bit of clickbait is chill, but using racism as clickbait to play the YouTube game, no. I'm.
Whoa. DD solved it. He's assuming that since Gatwa is the current Doctor and under a cloud of failure, that using Gatwa's image as racist because Gatwa's version is failing. Yeah. Yeah. Because he's failing and you're stating facts, and you don't want to admit that it's failing, I guess. Now it's racist.
I'm not accepting that as a valid reason. Now, the slightly
That's
bigger
crazy. That's insane to me. Like, tell me you don't want to actually have a conversation by like in one sentence. I don't accept anything you say as a valid reason or a valid argument.
part of this is the idea that we need to converse with the easiest way to phrase this is the anti-woke brigade, because that's the only way of changing their minds instead of speaking down to them all the time.
Is this guy insane? He's about to argue against open dialogue and conversation. He's about to argue against freedom of speech right now, isn't he?
And this brings me on to my big point that a lot of the defences that have been made around this thumbnail relate to the video.
You know what I really hate? I hate that I can't get the picture of the thumbnail. He showed it in this video too, because I remember looking at it. But now I'm gonna have to like look it up later and put it in. So this guy triple sucks in my book. He's
People
talking
saying
about
things
the picture without putting it up.
It's like YouTube is a video site, not a, gallery of pictures. In one of his big tweets after he blocked me, Mr Tardis says, so much of this faux outrage makes a lot more sense once you realise that there are people who genuinely loathe the idea of trying to change people's minds.
Whoa! He called them out. He called the nerd out. Mr. Tardis is swinging on Twitter. Wait, why'd he put this? Why'd he put this in his own video? Because that's him. He's actually talking about him. He's like, he doesn't want to change people's minds. Because if you did, you would want to talk to them and argue with them and try to get your point across, right? But your point is stupid. And then you try, you get felted, and you look stupid. So you don't want to try anymore. I get it. I 100% get it.
Now, the problem is, things get twisted to the point where I think he's arguing against the point, certainly that and fair enough, I'm not responsible for the arguments other people make, but I'm not responsible for those arguments. This is the moment where I tell you, and I did say this on Twitter after I was blocked, I watched the video.
He got blocked on Twitter. He's a loser. Mr. Tardis blocked me on Twitter.
And it's a genuinely great video. Mr. Tardis has claimed that videos like this, and certainly past videos he claimed, have helped. He believes have helped change people's minds. And honestly, I don't know enough about that to know if that's.
Ooh, he said, "I don't believe you, Mr. Tardis." He's not brave enough to say what he really believes. Look at him, man. Oh my goodness. It's not even in a funny way. It's almost in a sad way too. But he's not brave enough to say what he believes. So I'll say it for him. Mr. Tardis, he called you. He said your results are fake. You can't change people's minds through talking and dialogue with arguments and and mutual understanding.
That's true or not. But the problem is, all of the defences have been about the video. And in my book, the video itself doesn't need defending. We're talking about the thumbnail and the morals between whether that thumbnail justifies what you're trying to say. Because
Yes. Yes, it does. Yes, it just does.
I think the idea of changing people's minds and talking to people to see how they feel and see if we can change the way people think is a great idea. I 100% subscribe.
Ooh. First off, he's lying. Second off, if he really believed that, then he would also believe that his mind can be changed. he should be open to new ideas and open to proper arguments, and when in the face of facts, be able to change his mind and opinions and beliefs, right? But him and Mr. Tardis, by the way, they're both equally as bad. That's why it's so funny to me, because it's people on the left, the progressives, and all of this stuff. They eat themselves. They're always fighting with each other more than they fight with anybody else. Well, that's the evil snake diagram. It's so true. The snake eating its own tail. That's evil.
To the idea that if you got to a reform voter and say, fuck you, you're a dickhead, compared to if you go up to them and, like, you know, try and talk to them about their views on immigration and, you know, whether they're true, and talk them through other political parties. Obviously, you know, it's quite an odd conversation to have, but I understand 100% and fully agree that
most people can't have the conversation because they don't know what they're talking about. That's the real issue. And so even if you do know what you're talking about, but you're talking to someone who don't know what they're talking about, how are you going to convince them? Because they don't know what they're talking about. You know? That's really why it's a hard conversation. But it's different with Doctor Who, because a lot of people, I don't know. There's just so many things you could be arguing him about. Like, we can go through all of his takes on specific episodes and be like, look how dumb he sounds. All throughout. Thumbnail or to not thumbnail? That is the question. Unfortunately, you have to thumbnail. If you don't thumbnail, your videos get no views. I know, because I didn't thumbnail. And I still don't really. But, like, the videos I thumbnail, they get more views, I guess. Really, your video just needs to have a point and like a story or a topic, you know.
And don't click on videos. You know, we do live in this echo chamber of the online world where the anti-woke people can see thumbnails like that and not necessarily click on them, but, you know, then further gain this idea that people are on their side and this is what everyone believes, and it further amplifies their opinion.
Okay, 13 minutes in, and we got to one genuine point, which is still just like, I don't know, bad faith. So, he's saying the thumbnail's bad because it's amplifying the wrong opinion, right? It's clickbaity. You think, because Mr. Tardis believes everything's fine. Doctor Who's not bad because it's gay and it's not woke, right, guys? It's all good. The Doctor Who's not bad at all. It's a really good show. But the thumbnail, it has How to Kill an Icon. You have Hartnell on one side, Gatwood burning on the other side, with the British flag burning in the middle. I think that's more offensive than anything. He basically digitally flag burned. But, okay, and it's implying, the thumbnail implies that the icon's dead. My doctor's not the same doctor it was before, right? And then, if I agree with that sentiment, which I do, I'm supposed to look at the thumbnail and click on it, but he's saying I won't even click on the video still. I'll just look at it and be like, yeah, I already know he's dying. I already know the icon's dying, and keep moving on. Which might be true. I can give him that. But then the response would be, well, Mr. Tardis uploaded 3 thumbnails at minimum from what he said in this video, and this was like one of the least performing ones. It wasn't the top performing one because he's not using it right now. He's not even using it. So like the thumbnail didn't do its job, maybe because it was too clickbaity, Maybe because it was confusing in its message and people didn't click on it. Clearly, people didn't click on it, and he stopped using it. This is not a situation, by the way. This is just like a normal day in the YouTube office.
But I also don't think the ends justify the means. Statement A is true. The video is not only a genuinely good video, but if someone who is anti-woke watched it, their minds genuinely could be changed.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's what I get for having good faith, huh, DD? That's what I get. I just went through that whole diatribe and I was like, he had a good point here, guys. And then he goes, well, it is true that if you watch the video, though, and you're anti-woke, you might get your mind changed. So it's an effective video. And people might click on it. Oh, no. Why'd he say that?
Statement B, a thumbnail with racist connotations that will especially appeal to the anti-woke brigade.
Okay. So he made a thumbnail specifically for the anti-woke brigade, and he admits that the video is effective at convincing the anti-woke brigade. It sounds like he should be using the thumbnail. He made his own argument to why he should put the thumbnail back up.
Isn't a justification for a good video. And let's just go back and clarify. I'm not saying anything controversial. Mr Tardis himself knows that it's provocative and controversial.
What?
He genuinely hasn't admitted the race connotations.
Because it's not true. Because it's not true. And if he did admit it, he would be more of a cuck than you. He would be more soft than you. He will look stupider than you. Because it's not true.
If you're admitting it's provocative and controversial, you understand. So I don't think.
And the crazy part is, it's provocative because he's low-key burning the British flag in it. I wish I could bring it up, the picture live, but he won't put it up. He put it up earlier. I think it's provocative because he's burning the flag in it. Like, the flag part is on fire. And then, like, Gatwa kind of. Like, Gatwa's in the forefront and the fire's in the back. But most of it, from what I remember of the picture, was the flag on fire. It's like the anti-British sentiment, bro. Like, anti-my country. He's been smoking something real good. I don't think so.
I don't think there's an argument to be had whether you think it is racist or not.
That's crazy, bro. It's so crazy. Like, isn't that something a fascist would say? Isn't that something a racist would say? That's insane. I don't even know. I was gonna put a comment, but I don't even know what to put because I would just sound like a regular person, like arguing in a YouTube comment section. That's insane. He said, dude, there's no argument. I can't even argue with you if you think this isn't racist. It's racist. That's a foregone conclusion. And it's like, that's why you have these problems in your life, my guy. Oh my goodness. That's so terrible. Dude, that's so terrible. Imagine saying, I can't argue with you. I can't even.
The fact is, if someone anti-woke sees that thumbnail, they can believe it has racist connotations.
But I'm anti-woke and I didn't see that. But just because somebody could believe it, so if somebody misinterprets your thumbnail, it's your fault for making the thumbnail. What? What? It's like, what if someone's going around misinterpreting every thumbnail as racist? Now you have a race problem again, right? It's like, it's people like him keeping racism alive.
Because remember, we can't live in this world where you say something and someone else takes it differently and you go, well, that's not how I meant it. We have to think about what we do and what we say and how other people perceive it. We can't only be judged on how we perceive our own actions.
It must be a terrible way to live. Is all I can say. Like, he must be stressed every day of his life, having to play 4D chess on the internet, to have like relationships with people and talking. Yeah, yeah, I remember that Morgan Freeman quote. Stop talking about it. He said, just stop talking about it. Yeah. Like, he must hate his life. Like, way more than me. I thought I hated my life, but like, he's literally admitting to playing 4D chess in his relationships, and like every relationship he has online, at least. He's like, I have to predict how people will react to what I do, and then counteract it that way. And it's like, whoa, buddy. He's giving Gingers a bad day. He's like, we don't claim him. No, that's crazy. Like, I don't know. He must have constant headaches. His brain must be warm, like on fire.
Because then we're all pretty damn perfect all the time. I think there's many things you can say about this argument, is that I don't think the ends justify the means. I don't think, you know, stooping yourself to the level of a thumbnail with racist connotations is less of a negative than going, yeah, but we might change some people's minds. Because, and as I will try and keep hammering home, I agree with the idea that changing people's minds is important and helping them think, and is so much better than just going, no, you're wrong.
He doesn't believe that. He's not convincing me at all that he believes that. He doesn't believe that at all.
But we can't...
You can even see it, like, when he's saying it, he's constantly looking away because he doesn't believe it.
Minds. Because, and as I will try and keep hammering home, I agree with the idea that changing people's minds is important and helping them think, and is so much better than just going, no, you're wrong.
Now he's looking this way. But we can't... He looked this way, looked that way, looked this way.
Stoop to their level to try and entice them into that conversation. Look, it's a complicated thing to talk about, because there are things that are being done with what is being claimed to be good intentions. I'm just not sure that you can use bad intentions for those good intentions. This is also...
And the problem is, they call good evil and evil good, right? The road to hell was paved with good intentions. It's like, he think he has good intentions with this video and calling out Mr. Tardis and calling his thumbnail racist, but he doesn't. You know, what he's doing is just as evil. Mr. Tardis was just doing his own thing. Uploading videos, trying to get views. That's all he was doing.
Also, the point where I get into speculation, I don't want to accuse anyone of doubt or like downright say anything. I just think it needs to be put out in the open. This is the point where I need to make two caveats. Firstly, it's important for me to say, whilst I make this point, that for this specific video, I will not monetize this video. If ads are running on this video, it is YouTube making the money, not me. I will never monetize this video. And secondly...
This guy is just taking L after L after L. Now he's like, I'm not even gonna make money off this video. Sorry. I'm not even... Oh, how do you do that? How do a British accent? But posh. I'm the doctor. He's like, I'm not even... I can't do it. I can't try. He's like, I'm not even gonna make money off this video. What's going on, Ayosh? Welcome in, welcome in. Got a new viewer, guys. This is Neo Gear and DD. This is the pirate crew. I'm Captain Sunny Waffles. We like to talk about Doctor Who, and I'm A-logging this young gentleman, the nerdy Brit. He is indeed a nerd, indeed.
If there's nuances that Mr Tardis or someone else who really feels strongly about this would like to explain, let's have a chat about it. Let's have a debate.
What are we gonna explain? You can't talk to this guy. He believes the thumbnail's racist. Like that's the first point of contention, and you can't argue with him about that. So it's like you can't even talk to him. You can't explain anything to this guy.
We can, do a little podcast on this channel, or we can do a Twitter space. Let's have a more open and honest conversation about this rather than the slanging.
And there it is, boys. There's the real. He's trying to get Mr. Tardis on his show. He's trying to get clicks. He's trying to get those views. He just wants to do a collab. And so he manufactured this drama. So basically, Mr. Tardis uploaded a video on Doctor Who. He says the death of an icon, and he had Gatwa as part of the thumbnail. Also Hartnell was on the thumbnail. And Gatwa's part was on fire, and it said Doctor Who, right? The death of the icon, and it explaining that, and he called the thumbnail racist. And now I'm making fun of him for having stupid arguments.
Matches that I
Look how healthy he look. I missed that. The last fucking picture. That was really funny.
About this rather than the slanging matches that I.
Oh god.
And I believe if I'm saying this, Mr. Tardis stooped to a similar level, and others stoop to, and that's not productive. So let's have the productive space. I don't think we can say we can have this whole. Oh, we really need to try and speak to anti-woke people and try and change their minds instead of shouting at them. But then in the same argument, shout people down and not listen to them and not respect opinions. I think it works both.
Do you hear this guy? Excuse me. I'm sorry. I was just joking on his rhetoric. He said we cannot. He said don't shout them down and talk down to them and not listen to their opinions, but he won't listen to the arguments about the thumbnail not being racist, right? He won't even entertain that argument that he could be wrong about the thumbnail being racist, right?
Both ways, because one of the things that me and
he literally said that. He said, I'm not interested in the argument, or that you can't have that argument. Yeah, he's the nothing burger. It makes all of this, because it's all fake. Look at him. Fucking dude. What? Look at him. Oh my god, dude. Oh.
Tardis really got into in terms of a debate is if he feels the way he does about this thumbnail, why was it taken down? To put this into context, in a tweet which I'll then put up.
Did he say he felt the thumbnail was racist? I remember he didn't say that. And it was taken down. He told us why it was taken down. The nerdy Brit told us why it was taken down. It was one of 3 thumbnails. YouTube lets you try out different thumbnails. At the same time, this was one of the lower performing thumbnails. You don't use the lower performing thumbnail, right? Ayush, what am I missing here, buddy?
His tweet says, the thumbnail in question was only getting 18 to 20% of the views, so I removed it.
And doesn't that make sense? Like, what? Doesn't that make sense? He said it was doing like 18 to 20%. It was doing garbage. All my other thumbnails were more clickable. people were clicking on the video when they saw this thumbnail, not that one. So just take it down and show people the better one all the time.
This is where things get murky for me, because it's easier just to say this outright than dance around this kind of thing. Either you are putting up this thumbnail to this specific thumbnail because you know it's going to attract the anti-woke brigade, unlike the other two thumbnails that you've done, or obviously, as he said, this thumbnail is provocative and is designed to be provocative compared to the other two thumbnails, and that thumbnail specifically is designed to attract those anti-woke style null zone people.
And it didn't work.
If that was the altruistic...
And according to even according to his theory, it didn't work.
Motive, why take it down when it's not doing well? If this is like, the main idea behind the thumbnail, surely the views behind it don't matter, because that thumbnail is designed, the YouTube algorithm knows who it's appealing to, because the other two thumbnails, certainly compared to thumbnail 3, aren't designed to drag in the anti-woke audience. The third one is. So if the point of the thumbnail is to drag in that kind of audience, why take it down?
Oh, okay. The nerdy Brit's fighting back. There's signs of life. He's fighting back. He said, wait, but the thumbnail wasn't meant for views. It was meant just to get the noise audience, as RTD calls them. It was meant to attract the noise people. And I don't know. Do you think it's just, I guess, do they expect that audience to be small? Right? Because it wasn't doing well. And it's like, okay. Was it... I guess that would tell me it wasn't doing its job. But I guess if you believe that the anti-crowd is small, then you would think regardless if it's doing its job or not. But I'm not sure about that one. I'm trying to give him some props, but to be honest with you, I don't know. It was a low performing thumbnail. Maybe anti-woke people don't really watch Mr. Tardis. Like, I was subscribed to Mr. Tardis for a long time after I stopped watching him. Like, almost years. Until I unsubscribed from him. Because I just wasn't clicking on any videos. So, like, I don't think he can appeal to the woke audience. So, like, I think the thumbnail still did bad. But the woke audience is a lot bigger than 18 to 20% of the views he could have pulled in. Because it's like, who is he convincing? If you're anti-woke, you know the icon is dead. So who are you convincing that the death of an icon type of thing, The only thing he can really do is convince his own audience, his base, that the icon isn't dead. Like, I already know it's dead. And I know Mr. Tardis isn't going to tell me that it's dead and explain why in a fair manner.
And again, you've got to say it, because otherwise I don't understand why it was taken down. And again, I'm more than happy to have a reasonable conversation about it. But was it because, this was an idea to get more views for the video, and it didn't work, so it was taken down? And obviously, as we've said, if it's clickbait to get the anti-woke brigade in to change their minds,
right,
there's a debate to be had around that, where I am on the side of, no, I disagree with that usage. But if we're getting to the point of that thumbnail is being used for views, then I'm against it. Of course I'm against it, just like I'm against it with, at the start when we talked about, clickbait, using racism for clickbait in general. To summarise, I don't think you can have your cake and eat it.
This
The
guy's
other
sad.
two thumbnails do not drag in the type of audience you said you want.
What is he talking about? Nobody can use a thumbnail if the nerdy Brit disapproves, huh? Like, what is this guy even talking about? He's like, if you clickbait the anti-crowd, that's not fair. And if you make the thumbnail for views using racism, that's not fair. It's like, nothing's fair, huh? Nothing's fair unless you can do it, unless you're doing it.
Wanted to drag in with the video. Therefore, either, even with the controversy, you leave it up because that's your opinion and you want to drag in those types of viewers, or you take it down because there's views at stake and it's not doing as well for the channel. But therefore you've lost the altruistic argument because the first two thumbnails don't drag in that same audience in the first place.
Okay. And this is why he felt empowered to make a 30-minute video pushing this situation. It's because Mr. Tardis took down the thumbnail. Because he's a bitch. He's a beta cuck too for taking down his thumbnail. He should have just left it up. Even if it wasn't doing what it wanted to do, right? He could have just left it there. And then he explained himself on Twitter. I mean, Mr. Tardis not that guy. I don't think I ever gonna see that ever again. He's not even a shill. He's just a leech. Yeah, I don't really like his stuff either anymore. He's not that guy. He's also a very weak person. Just looking at him, Mr. Tardis, and like he explained himself on Twitter, like you don't have to do any of that stuff. Like that's the type of stuff that let people know they can bully you and push you on your thumbnails, right? It's just ridiculous.
Another account that I would like to talk about is Jean-Luc and his opinions. You might not know his account, but I think he had some. He was slightly stronger on Twitter and in some worse ways, I think. Firstly, saying things like subversive thumbnails in particular have been a thing on this site for decades.
Isn't this so gay, by the way? Just so female. Like, oh, we're going through Twitter. Twitter messages. Like, look at what he said about me. Look at what he said about this. Then I said this. Then he said that. I'm just like, oh my gosh. What?
Decades, they lure you into a wider discussion, in which case a fairly level-headed breakdown of the current state of television in the UK. Going on to say, YouTube is a job like any other, so can we stop demonising its creators for literally playing the game?
Felt it. He's getting fought. He's like, they're fighting back. The people are fighting back. He doesn't know how to handle it. He got hit in his right chin. He got hit right in the eye, bro. Look at what he about, Becca. Dude, he just got punched in real time. Look at him. He looked punched. He looked like he got punched.
Subversive thumbnails are one thing, thumbnails with racist connotations are another. Secondly, there's a difference between playing the game with a little bit of clickbait and having a racist thumbnail. Yes, a video speaking about Doctor Who then and now and how the British TV industry is burning due to Tory neglect.
Oh, wait, I gotta read this. A video speaking about Doctor Who then and now and how the British TV industry is burning due to Tory neglect. The icon in question is the show, and that's made clear from the video. Stop acting like right-wingers are being validated by this shit. It was a doorknob. Neo Gear, what are you talking about? I feel like you're in the wrong chat. It was a doorknob. Yeah, see, this sounds like a Mr. Tardis fence sitting type of video. You know, he's blaming Tory neglect, whatever that means. I don't know how right wingers are being validated either, though. That's a good point.
As I said, and this is my personal opinion, some people have a problem with the video. That's their argument that they are more than entitled to make. My problem is with the video, not the thumbnail. The thumbnail doesn't justify the video, and I don't actually think that point has been addressed by anyone. This is also a big one. It's so baffling to me that people don't understand that you...
The comment he read on stream hit him in the face. On stream. The comment he read right in the video felt like it hit him right in the face, bro.
And how the British TV industry is burning due to Tory neglect. As I said, and this is my personal opinion, some people have a problem with the video. That's their argument that they are more than entitled to make. My problem is with the video, not the thumbnail. The thumbnail doesn't justify the video, and I don't actually think that point has been addressed by anyone. This is also a big one.
This guy, bro.
To justify a thumbnail. As I said, some people don't watch a video but see a thumbnail. Some people only watch one way through the video. Some people will be validated by this thumbnail.
That's insane, bro, to say. Just because some people... Like, all of that's true, of course. Anything's possible. Everything's possible. So does he think you can make a thumbnail that pleases everybody and every... excuse me. That pleases everybody and appeals to every demographic and sector and idea? Like, no. Like, it's too much. Yeah, people are gonna take it however they want to take it. And like, what is Mr. Tardis supposed to do about that? Never use Gatwa's image? Never use Gatwa's image in a negative way? Like, it's ridiculous.
And even if no one is validated by this thumbnail, that doesn't make it okay. You can't make a thumbnail with racial connotations and then go, it's alright, no.
Jesus Christ. I'm done with this guy. Look at him. He's like, did I really just say that shit? He like, did I really just say that shit? He said, even if it's not validating people, it's racist. There's racist connotations. Cry more. Cry more. It's your fake racism.
It's still a scummy thing to do, in my opinion. Hello everyone, this is James in editing. Look, where we were going to go to in this video was a discussion and a look between like the specific tweets between me and Mr. Tardis, like all of the interactions, which you are more than welcome to go find on Twitter if you fully like to see it. But what I
context quote
exchange and, you know, the being blocked and all of that jazz. And, you know, I think it's important to start off by saying I don't think this was a healthy exchange from either of us. You know, there were comments being...
I can't listen anymore. I'm sorry. He's such a girl. He said it was not a healthy exchange. He got felted. Here's my favorite Doctor Who YouTuber, the greatest cope artist of all time, DW Fan 91. I think it's Claude. Sorry, I can't read. I think Twitter can make people very angry, so it's important to remember that none of it's real. Much like YouTube comments, beep boop, I'm a robot. That's how he sounds, I promise. So oddly, by using the thumbnail as your thumbnail, you got views, and your random video got suggested to me. So you should be ashamed, apparently. I don't know, man. Seems like a crazy thing to get mad about. Well said. Well said, video mate. Worth a subscribe. He gets to the point of the video. He had a burning flag. That's not even what he was mad about. That's not even what he was mad about. Isn't that crazy? I don't think he mentioned the burning flag. That's not even what he was mad about. He called it racist. I was more upset. I thought the burning flag was more offended, but he was just like, no, there's racist connotations. The screams didn't watch the whole video. Yeah, he didn't watch the video. That's not. He didn't watch the video at all. That's not even what he was mad about, bro. You're so long-winded. I can't even fall asleep to the video. I blame foul train, blah blah blah. Neo Gear, you're not even here. Arguing about a show that's about to be canceled seems redundant. They're not arguing about the show. I get that it looks like an anti-war thumbnail, but I don't see the racist connotations. Okay. One of the ways it could be taken. Why do you have to say it like that? Is that the casting a black man killed an icon? The thumbnail is not in your face about its racism, but it comes out of context that is similar. You're insane. You're insane. You're a nut job. Is this Neo Gear? The woke are the new Nazi, or the old name for the woke is SJW. Them lot do things like race bending or the terms you know as whitewashing. Plus they hate gingers. Turn gingers black. He's like, man, you should be on our side. They hate gingers. There's 17 replies. This dude is arguing with my pirate my pirate crewmate Neo Gear in the goddamn comment section. Being progressive is the new Nazi. It is. Did I say progressive? Terms change. Let me say it in simple terms then. Oh, Neo Gear's fighting back. Is turning characters from black to white wrong? Yes or no? Yes, it's wrong. Nice. Okay. He has some principles. Wait, he has some principles. Good. Now what about white to black? No, that isn't wrong. Haha, you got me. That makes me racist. Yeah, he's racist. Wait, he said black to white is wrong. But changing characters from white to black isn't wrong. Yes. Or are you one of those people who say you can't be racist to white people? The original creation of a lot of characters. Oh my god. Stuff to make our media more. Oh my god. Stuff to make a role from black actor. Do you get annoyed when they change characters from white to black? To make new ones, yeah, exactly. They're badly written. God, why can't we have new things? Plus, it's racist to change characters to be whatever new race. Whatever. I am a comic fan. How do you know? Do you get annoyed when they change characters from white to black? I'd rather we get new one, revamp characters. Change it all along. Yeah, like can black I mean, I know the answer. I know that nut job sounds about right. I know the answer. It's like, can black people be creative themselves? Yes, but majority no. That's the real problem. Like Milestone Comics, you were talking about comics, Neo Gear. Milestone Comics, was it Static Shock and Icon, the whole Black Line, like those are all brilliant characters, black in a concept and design, and white people loved reading it because it was just good stories. We didn't have to make them white. We didn't have to grab like white characters and make them black. It's just so weak and soft. And why is it okay to instill double standards? That's why dating is really fucked up in the modern age, because there's just an infinite amount of double standards that nobody can keep up with. And when you cross one, it's terms for divorce and breakups, right? So it's killing our media. Quite frankly, movies are doing worse. New TV shows don't exist. I don't have Netflix because I'm not a sheep, but the most common problem on Netflix, there's nothing to watch. Didn't answer the question. He did answer the question. I said yes, I find it racist. Good to know. By the way, resenting this due to me not finding on my end. Oh wow, no. Crazy. It's crazy because you still got people crying racism in 2025. I don't know. This is a little crazy to me. Forgot that. What do you mean? I won't argue. Because it will be impossible? Are you wrong? The racist? What? Oh, I get that it would be. Look at you. Your tactics are fascist at best. I can't. It's crazy because he said he literally wouldn't entertain the argument that the thumbnail isn't racist and doesn't show racist connotations. It's like, whoa, buddy, you're the fascist, man. Good night, DD. Thanks for stopping by, man. Fun hanging out with you. Fun talk. You got your daily dose of drama, a little bit of drama for you to help you go to sleep too. God bless, DD. And your tactics are fascist at best. Yeah, the nerdy Brit. Because you might be the type of person to watch a video like this from a even smaller faker YouTuber than you, who's gonna get significantly less views. If you're listening to this, you gotta relax, buddy. This is not how you get Mr. Tardis to come on your show or to do a podcast with you. You catch more flies with honey, and Mr. Tardis is a fat fly. I get that in the Doctor Who spirit, but whoa, buddy, relax. Neil Gear said, "Stay safe and don't let them take your ginger away." I think he's serious about that, man. They've been vilifying the gingers lately, and you're not safe. Wasn't Al a ginger in the Robot Revolution? He might have been. Wow, this video was crazy. See you all in the next one.